Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We have some major news and also the data download for part 2 of this year's worldwide download campaign. As it says here, the broadcasting date of the worldwide campaign announcement video part 2 scheduled on the 11th of this month, 6 o'clock PST, has been changed to the 10th of September, 6 o'clock PST. So it's been moved back a day, so I'm pretty sure this timing now for me is early hours going in tomorrow. So I'll have to watch it by myself or wait and do a whole video on it. So that's how we kick off this video. Then moving on, we're on Proton's Twitter, so I will leave his link down in the description. And from the data download for part 2, of course, we've already got these today because I've already been playing them, which is the quest mode area 36, stages 1 to 4. Trio in Danger Adventure of Natade or Natade Village. SBR Stage 85, which is Entrusted Will. We have an Easy Area Movie Edition for Stage 14. And we have Tremble with Fear, The Devil Awakens Stage number 2. So I wonder how difficult that's going to be compared to Stage 1. No doubt there'll be missions coming along with that as well. Demonic Attack Legendary Super Saiyan Broly Stage 4 and 5. Of course, we already know this, majorly announced yesterday, which is the Easy A for the Tech LRS Stray Broly. Battlefield 79 and Burst Mode for Miraculous Strike, Superpower of Burning Spirit as well. Then within the data download, these are the units we're getting, which this is a free-to-play int Trunks, and then the easy area is going to be for this free-to-play Strength Videl. And all of these things literally come out tomorrow. So Broly is literally coming out tomorrow. So of course we're going to be making videos on him and then eventually trying him out in difficult content. And of course, the new Trunks and also the Easy A for that Strength Videl is also dropping tomorrow as well, on top of Broly coming out. So we're going to go through the free-to-play units details. On Super Attack, Trunks will greatly raise defense by 50% for 3 turns, cause supreme damage to the enemy, and raise allies' defense by 30% for 1 turn. For a free-to-play unit, that SA effect is actually quite nice. Starts the turn with Ki +2 and attack and defense +140. Gains an additional attack +140 and launches an additional attack. There's a 50% chance of becoming a super attack when there is another Hybrid Saiyans category ally attacking in the same turn, which really isn't difficult to do. You've got Easy A Tech Ultimate Gohan, you've got Beast, you've got Easy A Tech Gotenks. Those are like 3 of the biggest ones I can name off the top of my head. There's probably more, and then actually I say probably, there definitely is more, but those are the biggest ones. He supports Hybrid Saiyans with Ki +1, attack and defense +25%. And then Ki +1 and attack and defense +25% again for allies whose name include Gohan, Goten within the character's attacking turn for 4 turns from the character's entry turn. So for 4 turns, Gohan and Goten units, which is very specific, however, Gohan and Goten units, along with the Hybrid Saiyan support, because they are Hybrid Saiyans, Gohan and Goten units will have Ki +2 and attack and defense +50% for 4 turns, which is very nice. Trunks will then gain an additional defense +40% when receiving an attack, have a 50% chance to dodge, and then he'll gain an additional chance of evading enemies' attack +20% as the first attacker on a turn. So if you want to take that risk, you will have a 70% chance to dodge. Probably best if you are going to use him, I think, in any form of difficult content. I'm not even just talking like the most difficult, but any form of challenging content. You probably want to go for a full dodge build, especially if you want to put him in slot 1 to get the extra 20% dodge chance. He then gains an additional attack +140 and temporary high chance, 50% chance of performing a critical hit upon the character's next attack after evading an attack. And then finally, he will gain an additional chance of evading enemies' attack +20%, which goes up to 20% within a turn. So once within the next attack in turn, every time the character evades 5 or more attacks. So once Trunks does dodge 5 attacks and you slide him in slot 1, he will actually have a 90% chance to dodge. And again, probably the best bet is giving him additional and dodge. He's actually a really good free-to-play unit. And this is a free-to-play unit without an Easy A. I mean, no doubt he'll probably get an Easy A during the celebration. But he doesn't have an Easy A right now. And he's actually pretty good for a free-to-play unit. He has an active skill, which is actually a taunt, where he'll gain 40% defense. It's literally called Come Paddle My Bottom. How great is that? Which directs enemies' attack towards the character for 1 turn. Hybrid Saiyan category allies will gain Ki +4 for 1 turn. This can be activated after the character evades 5 or more enemy attacks in battle, which also will happen at the same time when he gets this buff as well. His link set is the Innocence, Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan build, Budding Warrior, Prepared for Battle, Z Fighters, and Shattering the Limit. He goes on Hybrid Saiyans, Dragon Ball Seekers, Movie Heroes, Vegeta's Family, Youth, Super Saiyans, Gifted Warriors, Bond of Friendship, Bond of Parental Child, and Earthbred Fighters. But overall, again, for a free-to-play unit that doesn't have an easy A, he actually looks pretty solid. Then we have the free-to-play Strength Videl, which I said will be getting an easy A during the celebration. She is going to be getting an easy A through the easy A that is coming in part 2 that we went through in the beginning of the video. On super attack, she'll greatly raise defense by 50% for 1 turn, cause supreme damage to the enemy, and greatly lower defense. She gets key +1 up to 3 in attack and defense, plus 50% up to 150 per movie heroes category ally on the team, which is so easy to do because it's still one of the strongest teams in the entire game. So that's very simple to build up. She has a chance of evading enemies' attack plus 5% up to 15% per movie heroes category ally on the team as the first attacker on the turn. She then gains an additional attack plus 120 on super. She has a 50% chance to dodge. So very similar to the Trunks. You put her in slot 1, she'll get more dodge chance. However, this is per movie hero category ally on the team and it only goes up to 15%. So three movie heroes units, she have an extra 15 on top of the 50 she already has. She then gains an additional defense plus 120 for 5 turns after evading an attack. She then gains an additional defense plus 50% and a chance of evading enemies' attack plus 8% within the same turn of each attack evaded, which doesn't actually have a cap. This doesn't have a limit. Like, for example, this does where it says up to. This doesn't have a limit by the looks of things. So she will naturally just keep gaining 8% dodge every time she dodges, which I think is really nice. Obviously, there is a chance she doesn't dodge and she doesn't dodge every attack, even if she has dodge one prior. However, that does leave the potential of she could just generally keep dodging and constantly gain an 8% chance on top of the 50 she starts with. And if you're feeling ballsy, slide her in slot 1 to get an extra 65% per movie heroes category ally. So that would be 65% dodge chance and an extra 8% every time she dodges until she's dodged as much as she can and has 100%. I'm not gonna lie, it seems a lot of fun to do. I would generally be the type of madman to take her into like Supreme Magnificent Battle and just see if I can get that lucky. Even though she'll probably get absolutely clapped and one-shotted if she doesn't dodge. All allies also gain key +1 and attack and defense plus 30%, and then she gains an additional attack and defense plus 20% for all allies for 2 turns and launches an additional attack as a 50% chance of becoming a super attack as the first attacker on the turn. Now again, for a free-to-play EZA, she actually looks pretty solid. Will you be using her in any insanely difficult content? Probably not. But again, for a free-to-play unit, same as the Trunks, she's actually pretty good. Before we do dip out though, just to quickly remind you again that the worldwide campaign announcement for part 2 has been changed from the 11th, 6 o'clock PST to the 10th, 6 o'clock PST, which I'm pretty sure actually, I've just gone and checked, is 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me. So I can actually make a reaction to that. So if it is, I'll be watching it. I'll make a reaction bang on rather than having to wait. But let me know what you think of the data download down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a good rest of your day, and post.